ceremony. The next presentation has a very interesting title. Attila Molnár, the president of LinkUp VR, is going to talk about workout in the virtual reality. So it's a very interesting topic. Thank you very much. First of all, we've talked about a lot of things today already, and I have so many thoughts about this e-sport topic, because you can have various points of view, from the point of view of the gamer, the family, the government. So there are different points of view. I would only like to talk about my main points here. Let's quote the motto of the conference: the future of the sports of the future. You are fighters, and this is how I would like to welcome you. Welcome, fighters. We are on a very rocky road in order to become a sport officially, so that everyone considers e-sports as a sport, a branch of sport. So I would like to talk about only what has already been achieved now. I would like to have a bridge in front of you, or a real built bridge, which is the technology of virtual reality and integrating virtual reality into e-sport. It's impossible to say everything in 10 minutes, so I only came with picture. Who is our biggest enemy? Not me. We ourselves. Why? Why? It's not going to be an interactive presentation, don't be afraid. So we are our own enemies, and with this image I just wanted to show you the digital society. Now we are at a decision-making point concerning digital society, and this is there because of the gaps between generations, generation gap. How do we overcome this generation gap? We should bring together the younger and the older generations, and we need to resolve certain problems which we talked about before, for example, digital family protection or lifelong learning. This is how we start our lives. Why did I talk about digital society? Because we live through this. Each and every new generation child grows up like this. So this is how children start their lives. This is going to, of course there are exceptions, but this is going to be the path in front of us. This is the trend. We need to know where we are in the society, and we need to know what dangers there are in the digital world. This is the next step. So this is the digital society: tablets, smartphones, smart washing machines, and as they grow up, they start to use more and more things. Mobile phones, tablets, this is the work. And it's the same whether it's an adult or a child. So this is the digital society that surrounds us. And we get there. So what is the essence of this bridge? This bridge includes this, and it connects these two pictures, right? This is virtual reality. Why is it important? Why do I want to include virtual reality in esports? A lot of people think that I just take up the glasses and then I play the game and that's it. No, because it has a very strong psychological effect. And in the past year, we were trying to test this with different partners and people. We tried to analyze it and make certain surveys. and we try to look at how it affects the human body. We haven't finished yet, but next year we are going to be able to present a survey concerning this. In order to be able to understand what I'm talking about is you have to know what illusion is. Illusion in technology. Now I would like to go back to the sentence when I was talking about using tablets and mobile phones. When children are growing up, they process a lot of information in a fraction of a second. So these generations, this is an important basis of this generation gap. So the lack of understanding between the two generations and the amount of information that we process, how it is going to affect that person later in their lives. And here, unfortunately, I feel a lack of information or a lack of esports, a lack of sports. So the information is processed very fast, and for them, traditional sports are boring. Do we agree to a certain extent, more or less? So they become boring. A lot of people are running while listening to music. There's the headphones in their heads, monotonity. So it's monotonous for them if they run. Next generation children, this generation very often feels that it's boring because they collect so many pieces of information that they are unable to live without this amount of information. E-sport is a very important catalyzer in this process. And an important pillar of this bridge above the gap is that the old generation cannot grasp that during a click, what happens while a click is made, what happens in the heads of their gamers when they are clicking, what is the decision-making process behind it in the brain, how it is generated, and why did they make this decision. Practice and implementation in practice. What we would like to have is that people see this bridge. At the moment, virtual technology is trivial. It's in front of their eyes. In South Budapest, we created an agreement. This is a school for athletes, and this is physical training in virtual reality. So physical training in virtual reality. You have to know that you need physical activity. Who recognizes game, the game from this picture? Yes. So there's the blue sword, red sword. You have to cut the red and the blue boxes. Can you see the process behind? So the two hemispheres of the brain are working. So color on color, and at the same time, there's a huge physical force behind it. So they need to have physical force in order to be successful in the game. And now I would like to connect the whole thing. So this bridge that we give you and this model is capable of, through technology, not breaking through. It doesn't break through the isolation, the digital isolation of children. So children can still have a lot of information. We are not boring, but at the same time, they do physical activity. And this way we create a bridge between the old and the young generation. So the old generation sees that these children are moving while doing the game. So at first sight, it seems a bit scattered, but come to the festival and I will show you this game there. So let's have the future sport. Sports should be the future, and future should be sports. So thank you very much for your attention.